What's up, everybody? Anthony here, Empire Music, empiremusic.com. Phone number at the shop, 412-343-5299. You see anything in the video that you're into, feel free to reach out to us. Keep in mind, this Wednesday, the 15th, massive in-store event going on here. Little evening hang with the Martin Custom Shop. What we're hosting is a Tonewood Masterclass. We're going to have master builder Danny Brown on hand from the Martin factory. Danny's a longtime friend of the shop here in Pittsburgh, PA. And it's cool because Martin's like our neighbors right over in Nazareth, PA. So they're outside of Philadelphia. We're on the west side of Pittsburgh here. The event's going to be going on from 6 to 8. There's going to be a small presentation shortly after 6, and then a lot of time to get your hands on some amazing instruments. We're going to be basing this Tonewood Masterclass around our Empire SPEC Martins, one of which I'll show you in this selection here. And what those are guitars that Joe and Justin built at the factory and really selected the Tonewoods to give a unique take on some classic Martin packages, some classic Martin shapes. But, you know, it goes to show what experience can do in the acoustic guitar world. You know, you have Joe with decades and decades of experience as far as creating custom instruments for customers. And, you know, obviously his knowledge as a player, as someone that's just been in the industry for a long time, is so vast. And Justin's as well. And then you're bringing Danny Brown from Martin to be here to really talk through why a particular player would select a particular Tonewood, why you would match that Tonewood up with the body shape, why you would match that body shape and Tonewood up with a scale length, why sometimes what you think might be the right Tonewood for you or for a particular sound might not be the case, because once you get them in your hands, and I know this just from selling basses, it's like someone comes in for guitar or bass X, but then they start playing it and bass Y and Z become the right thing. The same thing can kind of happen with Tonewoods, and I think there's oftentimes when we go down the rabbit hole of guitar or bass forums, there can be a lot of misinformation out there, because I think what gets forgotten about is you, the player, your particular style, your particular touch on an instrument. So join us Wednesday, October 15th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. It is the Martin Custom Shop Tonewood Masterclass. And again, we're going to be basing a lot of that information around our wonderful Empire SPEC collection. So in light of that, I have all acoustic guitars to show you today, a couple fresh models. If you are watching this on YouTube, you can hop through our channel. Some of this stuff Joe's done some demos of, some really good informative videos to kind of show you some of those sounds. One of those is something that Joe owns the original version of that's back, and we really like these guitars. It's just the Jeff Tweety 00 DB. So really what you have is like a deep body 00, which we love. We did a Martin exclusive, or an Empire exclusive with Martin, on a kind of a similar guitar. Now that I think about it, it was an all mahogany deep body. So here you have mahogany top with the Tweedy burst on it. So that's kind of his custom burst. It goes to this like really light mahogany in the middle there, mahogany back and sides. But what's cool about this is you have the smaller body guitar, but full scale length. So 25.5 scale length on it. So you get that focused and punchy mid-range, but with this smaller body guitar. Ebony fretboard on there with a beautiful kind of caramelized ebony on that's very, very nice. These are really nice guitars. You got to check out Joe's video. They sound incredible. And I'm a big Jeff Tweety fan. I used to do in these videos like recommend a record a week, right? And it kind of went by the wayside because, you know, things are cyclical. But I will give a record recommendation, and it's Wilco's Sky Blue Sky. I know that's not the OG Wilco fans' favorite record. To me, that's a perfect record. That is a perfect record from the opening line to the very last drum beat or whatever it ends with. Man, Nels Cline's playing on that. Just the band in general. Glenn Cochee, and the songwriting's incredible. So I'll give you a record this week. It's Wilco Sky Blue Sky. That's a perfect record. That is a desert island record for me, for sure. So the 00 DB and the Jeff Tweety. Then they offered it in a cool, you know, Martin's been doing a lot with like their junior series. So they have a 000 junior body shape here in the Tweedy burst, but on a dark mahogany top. Also has mahogany back and sides, also has an ebony fretboard on it. These little junior models are really nice travel guitars, couch guitars, and you could even gig out with them. They have decent electronics packages in them too. So the junior triple O in the Jeff Tweety. And then we move into some custom shop models, and we're going to be focusing a lot on custom shop Empire spec. This isn't one of those. This is just an absolute stunner of a guitar. This is a D28. I've shown these before with Madagascar rosewood back and side. So the Madagascar just provides in multiple ways an extra gear over East Indian or standard rosewood. Similar to what Brazilian gives you, although different. It's from a different spot on the globe, but just exceptional guitars. We don't see a lot of Madagascar come through, so we're happy to see a few of these D28s pop through Empire Music. I didn't give myself a lot of space there getting those back in. Now, we're going to go to an Empire spec. We're going to go to our Wild Grain Rosewood HD28. Shown these off quite a few times. They're still coming in. Beautiful wild grain rosewood top. That's a unique top for an acoustic guitar. Wild grain rosewood back and side. So it's the same Tonewood all around. I think of that kind of like a single malt scotch where it's giving you all of the characteristic of that particular thing. In this case, wild grain rosewood. It's giving you all of that in a very singular voice, very rich, very deep. It's not going to be the brightest sounding wood, but if you're looking for robust lows, low mids, very like just tons of harmonic content in the lower half of the frequency spectrum with enough top end clarity to cut through. You can play a lot of different styles on this instrument, but it's a powerful, warm, rich sounding guitar in the HD28 package. This is one of the Empire specs. You know, if you've seen the Empire spec stuff on our website, you know there's a lot of it, and we're going to be showcasing really all of it and talking about all of it. You're going to have a chance to play all of it on Wednesday night, October 15th, 6 to 8 p.m., Tonewood Masterclass, right here with Martin Custom Shop. If you have any questions on that event, hit the link on the website or just reach out, 412-343-5299. Then go into a standard model. One of my favorite small body shapes, we talked about a double O deep body in the Tweedy, standard double O in the 18 series. So spruce top, mahogany back and sides, a little different than the Tweedy. I have the standard double O body shape, super articulate. It's got punch in a unique way for that smaller body. I just always really like these guitars, very, very comfortable. And if you are playing with other guitar players, acoustic guitar players, this can sit in its own space. So we think about an orchestra, we think about a band, we just think about a setting where we want different areas of the frequency spectrum represented. The double O body shape does its own thing. It's very, very cool. And then we still sticking with smaller body shapes. Joe also has a video. By the time you're watching this, that should be out. The new Gibson LG2 All Mahogany Worn series. So we have it in a sunburst finish and in a natural finish. Rosewood fretboard on that. All mahogany construction, LR bags, VTC. These sound really nice too. These smaller body shapes bring something interesting to the table. I don't care what tone wood you're putting with it. There's always an interesting voice to these smaller bodies. We really dig them here at Empire Music. So LG2 worn in two different finishes. All right, then the first, really proud of this, the first Empire Spec Gibson custom shop. It's an acoustic in the J45, thermally aged red spruce, wide X brace on it. Standard things otherwise with the mahogany back and sides. Cannons, absolute cannons. That wide X bracing kind of extends the range that you would see from traditional X bracing. We do the thermally aged red spruce top, so we're kind of doing the quick aging process on that. Really just opens up the guitar. Rosewood fretboard on that, warm, lush. The short scale length that you know for Gibson's a 24/7.5 just adds all these things for warmth to the guitar. These are crazy, crazy nice. Empire Spec J45, Gibson Custom Shop. This stand has been giving us fits. I'm so glad I'm doing that on camera. That was impressive. I almost blew a knee out. I'm 46 years old. I almost blew a knee out doing that. My left knee, that's the bad one. And then Hummingbird in translucent teal. It's a pretty bold finish, but we see these come through in Taylor. We see them come through in Gibson. You're gonna like it or you're gonna hate it. If you really like it, you know you're gonna need it. But the standard Hummingbird specs, great sounding guitar, square shoulder dread, shorter scale like as the Gibson's known for, spruce and mahogany. Really traditional things in a very non-traditional finish, so it's super cool. All right, any questions at all? 412-343-5299. Wednesday, Martin Custom Shop Tonewood Masterclass right here, Empire Music, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Master Builder Danny Brown will be on hand here in the shop. Again, any questions, feel free to reach out. Would love to see you in the shop on Wednesday night. Thanks for watching.